Hello, good morning or good evening whenever you're watching this. I hope you are doing well. My name is Catherine and today I am doing the time and place book tag. I was tagged for this video by the amazing, wonderful, iconic Nat over at Nerdy Nat Reads. So I will be linking her video as well as the original video for this tag down in the description below and right there if I remember to do that, but I sometimes forget. So the premise of this tag is super sweet and nostalgic, and it is basically to find 10 books that you associate with a certain time or place in your life. So I think I found 10. Some are very specific, some are just very nostalgic for me. So let's go. The very first book that I have very specific memories of is Little House in the Big Woods by Inglles Wilder. This is like the first chapter book I remember reading. My parents were very, very big on me and my brother being readers, so they would read to us every single night, and this was one of the books that my dad would read to me. Mom and Dad, this is your fault. You have no one to blame but yourself for this book problem. It's all you. I remember this being like the very first chapter books that I read. Me and my dad would like switch off chapters, so he'd read one chapter, I'd read one chapter, and that's basically how I learned to read, was by reading with my mom and dad before I went to bed every night. Tagging on to that, another book that I will say I have very specific memories of me and my dad reading was The Hobbit. The Hobbit is one of my favorite books, The Hobbit and the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I remember wanting to read those because my brother had read them before me. So I think I was like 7 or 8, probably 8, when I was like, I need to read them. Like, we'd gone through all the Little House books, we went through the Wizard of Oz books, Heidi, Mary Poppins, all of those books, and was like, okay, I'm ready. I am ready to read Lord of the Rings. That was another one of the books that I remember learning to read on. Jumping a little bit further into my elementary school years, I absolutely loved the witch books by Elisabetta Gnone, which was also a like highly popular TV show. I never watched the TV show, but I loved the books growing up. It followed this group of girls that had like these elemental magic powers, and they had like magic girl transformation moments, very like Sailor Moon-esque, and I think I read like 23, 24 of them, and I would just sit in, there was like a big grassy area for recess every day in elementary school, and I would just sit there and I would read. And that was like all I did. Jumping again a little bit forward into the beginning of like middle school years, I was a Warrior Cats girl. I don't know what this says about me, but I loved those books so much. Me and my friends were obsessed with them. We knew like all the different cats' names. We may have been like, oh, what's your Warrior Cat's name? Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. But it was a very big part of our lives growing up. Another so embarrassing how much I love these books. Actually, I never really loved them, but the group that I hung out with in middle school loved them, and that was the Clique books. Oh my god. Okay, if you don't know what the Clique books were, they were basically like Gossip Girl for middle schoolers. It's about this very toxic friendship group, this like, you know, 12-year-old who's wearing like Dior and everything, and it was so bad. The memories I have specific for this, let me preface this by saying I was not a good person in middle school. Is anyone really a good person in middle school though? I definitely was not. Basically, me and my friends, we called ourselves the group. We were like the public school version of the Clique. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. It was the most toxic friendship group ever. We were not good people then. I like to think that I have grown into a better person. There were girls in that group who very much wanted us to be the Clique. They're not good books either. 11-year-olds should not be reading those books. The next book that I have like a memory of like the time of that life was also in middle school, but not as bad, was An Abundance of Katherines by John Green. This was actually my first John Green book. I think my friend, she gave it to me as a Christmas gift back in like 2007, and we became huge like John Green fans. We also would watch Vlogbrothers videos, and I would have to go over to my friend's house to watch Vlogbrothers videos because I still had dial-up internet. An Abundance of Katherines was the first one that I read. In retrospect, it's not the best one, but it's one of my favorites because it has my name in it. I still love John Green books. His books and like the whole like Vlogbrothers Nerdfighter community is what made me who I am today, and I still very much love the Vlogbrothers. I still love John Green's books. Y'all can fight me on it. I love them. The next book that I have very like specific memories to is The Curious Instinct of the Dog in the Nighttime. This book is so good, and my memories associated to this book are actually related to the play. I got this really great opportunity to do a like short study abroad program in London during college, and I saw that play, and it was mind-blowing. It was life-changing. The way that it is staged, the way that it is produced and everything, the technological elements, the minimalist stage without being like ever feeling like it was bare. I like totally fell in love with it, and I immediately went and got the book and got the script of the play. I just love them so much. So whenever I think about that book, I do think about my time in London, the amazing group of friends that I got to go with, all of the really cool workshops and all of the fantastic shows that I got to see during that time. I would love to go back. For anyone who lives in England, I am very jealous of your public transportation system, which sounds ridiculous, but I live in LA. Our public transportation is garbage. So yeah, whenever I think about that book, I think about my trip. Another book that I specifically associate with that trip is On the Other Side by Carrie Fletcher. I picked it up at a Waterstones when I was there, and I read it on my plane journey back. What I specifically remember though, is that plane ride back was a journey because we had a layover in like Dallas, I want to say. It was supposed to only be like an hour layover, like not bad at all, especially since we had to go through like customs and everything. It was supposed to be super chill, which was great because the very next morning I was supposed to get on another plane in LA and go to a family reunion in New Jersey. Our plane got delayed, so we were in Dallas for, instead of 1 hour, we were there for 4 hours. So what went from me having about a like 15 hours to like sleep, to do laundry, to repack and board another plane, it went to me having like 6 hours. It was a lot. But luckily I had books like On the Other Side to keep me company during that time. And I 100% every time I look at that book, I'm like, yep, I read that on quite the journey back home. Last but certainly not least is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This book was my very first audiobook. I picked it up because I saw a tweet from Lin-Manuel Miranda saying that he had done the narration for it. And so I was like, you know, I really enjoy Lin's voice, and I feel like he would be good at doing narration because he's an actor, so he can put that like emotion into it. I think I'm gonna pick it up. And during the time I was so busy, and I was in the car probably about 2 hours every single day. I was in rehearsals for a show. I had just started doing a show at my work, so I was being scheduled a lot more. And then I was also like in the process of moving. So I was in the car every single day for about 2 hours. So I was looking for something new to do. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's try out audiobooks. And it was really cool because it was a book I picked up on a whim, and I ended up loving it so much more than I expected. So I was very, very grateful that Lynn tweeted and I saw it, and overall it was a great time. So there you go, that is the time and place book tag. I hope you liked it. I'll be tagging some people down below, so be sure to check. Also, if you just want to do this, you should do it because it's really fun taking like a trip down memory lane. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit subscribe and turn on the little bell icon so you get a notification every single time I post. I post new bookish content every Monday and Thursday, so subscribe. It's a great time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, bye!